Welcome to Behind the Game with the Coach Dino, and we're gonna get down with it with some of my most favorite people in the world, and I mean that from my heart. The Davis family, DeAndre, Tay, D, and the mama bear, Carlonda Davis. Welcome to Behind the Game. We go back a long way. We got a lot of history. Before we even got into the sports side, my ex-wife and I, we moved next door. We didn't even know. I saw a Rams flag sitting outside the house. One day I see Lundy. She's up there and grabbing the mail, and we chit-chat, and she said, "Oh, my husband's from St. Louis." So that's what we got in common, and that's where it starts. I work with a lot of your family members, and your mom was my daughter's rec coach. So it's a lot of history here. Move right along. You bring out baby number 2, Tay, and I end up babysitting the boys while you get back into the work scene. And fast forward, me and my man, we get a chance to coach. He got me my first, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because 15 years ago, you were the reason that I got into coaching in high school football in Indiana. You talked to Coach West, say, "Hey, you lie and say this is a good dude here." No, but I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I got my first shot, and it kind of took off from there. So let's talk about you guys as a family, your journey here in Indiana, and where you are right now. You started your coaching career at Lawrence Central. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's been fun. Started at Lawrence Central, like you stated. Started coaching the youth girls.
Basketball?
Basketball, yep. So kind of funny, because it's a long story actually, so I'm going to kind of sum it up here. She was playing ball at IUPUI, and her high school coach called her and wanted her to come coach.
Okay.
And so I was new to the city, didn't know anyone, didn't have anything to do, just watching Baby D over there. And so at that point, she was like, "He ain't got nothing to do, he should do it." And I'm like, do what? So she got me into coaching. I really didn't want to coach. I said to myself, I would never coach. Yeah, because my mom, she coached for years, and I said, I don't know if I want to deal with these crazy people.
Right. Was it more the kids you want to deal with, or was it the parents?
The parents.
I totally get
parents.
that.
Because it gets hectic. So she got me started in coaching, and that's how it kind of started. It went from there. And then she finished up and said she didn't have anything to do, so she joined the staff too. So we coached together. We coached the girls together for a while, for what 3 years, 4 years before I switched over.
About 4.
Yeah, 4 years. Then I switched over to the boys, and she stayed on the girls' staff.
Man, that's where the Davis legend begins. Because for real, starting out at LC, Lundy, you went to LC. All your siblings went to LC, so it's deep, and we'll get into that later. How deep it goes as far as Lawrence Central is concerned, and then you were coaching football as well.
Yeah,
you're coaching DBs, and I mean that was a lot of fun for me. First you gave me the gig, and a couple months back I interviewed Rashad Barksdale, who later came on staff and coached DBs over there with you, and we talked about the Davis family, and I said the only other family that I know that can rival or surpass anybody else that I knew as far as a family and competition are the Davis family. From the youngest to Mama D. Yeah. Everybody in this entire family is competitive and extremely gifted. Yeah. Now, it's not just the athletic side.
Right.
I know the family to be. I mean, y'all lucked up. Y'all hit a home run on both sides. You hit a home run, she hit a home run, and then y'all come together and y'all got these two amazing young men right here that y'all are raising still, and everybody's smart. Everybody's smart. I mean, Y'all look good, y'all athletic, y'all smart.
Man,
what y'all drinking?
Still trying to figure that one out sometimes.
Look, somebody handed me this and said, if you drink this is smart water. If you be like the Davises. You see, I'm trying everything. So, Lundy, talk about your time as a coach early on when you started coaching, and what made you want to get into coaching?
Well, I think partially the reason was I wanted to my high school coach, like you said, wanted me to come back, and she really, really pushed me. She was really tough on me, but she also believed in me, and I wanted to do it for her. And I watched him, and I'm like, man, he should be doing this, he should be doing it. And D is one heck of a coach, but I just wanted to come alongside him, really. And so I actually thought it'd be a neat thing. The kids were always in the gym, right there beside us, probably coaching too at 2 or 3 years old. But it was just something that we did together, and we enjoyed it. And like he said, he switched over, went to the boys' side, which was awesome because it led him to where he is now. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I coached for about 10 years. After the high school, I went over to the middle school and still coached and stayed around the game. And then these two fellows start taking off. Somebody had to be getting them from here to there. So I decided to let him finish his coaching career and get them.
Do you miss it? You miss coaching?
I don't want to say I miss coaching. I miss the relationships that I built. To this day, I have girls that just show up now at their graduation and, and what they have going on. I mean, they fly into town, they still contact me. So
Still
that was
money.
my purpose.
Yeah. Cash App still works.
Cash App still work.
I'm there for them, physically, financially, emotionally. There's a handful of them, and that to me was what it was about.
So get a phone call, boys season started, get a phone call, Miss Davis, we got an opening here for a girls head coach at XYZ High School. Would you think about it?
That would be tough, because I support the kids and what he got going on. I can't. My wingspan can only reach so much, and we don't miss games. So I don't know that would be possible.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the biggest things, the family support that they have, and she's going to be right in the middle of it. So her coaching now,
probably not like
yeah. So we go ahead and. That'd be a no. I know how thick the family is, and I can sit up here and we can talk about it, and I can try to explain it, but you have to. It's not every day that you see it on the level that this family is. That's from your side of the family, from your side of the family. These guys, I assume that they see other kids and what they don't have. But to really understand how deep y'all support is, man, y'all rich. Forget the money. Y'all are rich, man. I'm just happy that I'm in the room. Uncle Dino just, hey boys. I'm really, really proud of the family, let alone what they're doing. So, young fellas, Tay. No, we're gonna start with D. We get an older man rights here. We start with the older guy. Talk about your experience. How did you like playing for your dad? And be honest. There you go. Smile right off the bat. Let me get this right. What was it like playing for your dad?
It was a lot of ups and downs. I mean, that's with anything. We butt heads a lot, but there was a lot of good moments as well. I say the hardest part was differentiating the coach-son, coach-father, player-coach relationship. Understanding at this time this is coach, this isn't father. You come back home, all right, this is father, this ain't coach no more. I say that was like one of the toughest things getting adjusted to, but we had a lot of talks, just me and him one-on-one on how to navigate through that, and what's best for me, what's best for him, and really just coming to an understanding that it's coming from a place of love. And he only wants to see me succeed, so that's why he does what he does.
And did you also get? Because I've seen Mom, with all as a competitor, that experience he has, but also knowing the game, play the game, coach the game. Did you kind of feel like at times you were getting it in stereo in both ears, like, oh, I got Dad settled down. All right, we good. And you come home. What are you doing?
It's
Did you
crazy
get that?
you say that because it was some games where it's like he on me. I'm coming to the scores table. She working the scores table.
And she getting you there,
I'm like,
yeah.
Man. But nah, for the most part, I feel like she kind of played the peacemaker. You know, when I needed to hear it, she let me hear it. But you know, it's times where she could tell, like, okay, he got me. It's enough. And, just trying to play peacemaker and keep my head on straight. So you know, that's kind of the relationship. But like, if I need to hear it, she gonna let me hear it.
I do know that. Y'all keep it real as a family. Tay, what was it like? I guess he took the brunt of it because he went through it first, and it kind of, I would assume it helped you to be able to see, okay, I see the relationship between Dad and Dre, and then what role Mom plays, and so you got a chance to see it before you actually got in it. What was your relationship like with your dad as him being your coach?
Like you said, like I was young, like I'm 2 years younger than Dre, so I had 2 years to see like how their relationship went and how the coaching, the son thing went with him. So my freshman and sophomore year was like, I would say it's more smoother, because I could more understand I could get more understanding of what he was saying and the things that he was trying to get to me, across to me. But like with everything, like Dre says, ups and downs. Like sometimes we butt heads, and I had him as a head coach. So you know, of course, times we butt heads, but it's times we had great moments and great times. So, but at the end of the day, I understand everything that he's trying to get across to me. Like he wants the best for me. He loves me to death. So
Yeah, he does. How is it coaching the boys? If you could put that in a ball, and what was that experience like?
Sometimes I wanted to bang the ball up. but honestly, it's the best feeling in the world, and I would advise anyone that's coaching, that has the opportunity to coach their kids, to do it, because no one's going to teach your kid like you can teach them because of the type of I guess the vested interest that you have in them. I mean, you want to see them succeed and do well, but more importantly, the details. You know, you pay attention to details a little bit more than another coach may want you to do it or tell you to do it, but not going to really invest the time in making sure it gets done. So some of those things, I think, like when I had Dre, since he was, you know, real young, I kind of turned Tay over to another coach, but then got him later, and I wish I would have had him at that very same age and started to invest that time into him like I did Dre. Obviously, it's only one of me. I couldn't coach both of them, and we were already spread it too thin. But you know, just putting that time and energy into them, man, is rewarding. And regardless of however well they do, I feel good about it because I think that I did everything I could. So, you know, I just love it, man.
Man, it's a beautiful thing to watch and have watched over the years. I continue to watch them grow. Y'all continue to grow as a family, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you talk about taking care of business in the classroom academically, in your community. You're well respected in your community and the entire family. If you say the Davis family, Dre Davis, Lundy Davis, Tay, D, anybody that knows or have heard the name has nothing but good things to say. Now, you're gonna have those haters out there, and that's all they get on that topic. That's all they get. But you guys are killing it. What was it like mediating those moments, you know, when rough game, rough practice, you be the mom, but you know, the coaching aspect. What is it like navigating and mediating that?
It was tough. I mean, because there were times like everything that he was telling them, he was dead on, and I knew that. But to continue to beat on it, it was tough because I wanted to say the very same thing, but he's already telling them. So I had to play that, and I said, gosh, I wish I was just that mom that just said, you know what, it's okay, you did great, you participated. But I'm just not that mother, right? So it wasn't easy because what he was saying, he was dead on. You know, I know there were times he was like, you gotta let me grow him up. so they can be a man. They got, because Mama Bear used to come in sometimes too. But it was tough. I realized that I had to be the encourager, because they can't have two parents in their head too. When you come home, the biggest thing that I tried to focus on was your home. If you had something to say, you should leave it at the gym.
Yep.
You're home now. You got it. You want that relationship, you gotta be dad. So, but it wasn't easy, because they would carry it too.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be kid now, right? You gotta be son. You gotta listen. Like, we going on vacation now. You can't carry that game with you on vacation, because that was hard. But
yeah, to piggyback on what she said too, the biggest thing I think that helped me in getting off of them was the fact that, okay, you say what you said, now we gotta let it go. And so now what I said has to manifest within them. So they heard what I said, so now they're processing. Dre's a huge processor. So he processes everything. And Tay processes it too. Even though he tries to act like he don't hear you. He hears everything you saying. And then after he processes it, he'll come back and say, Dad, you know what? Yeah, you were right, And then, but however way, they get it, I'm good as long as they get it, And then sometimes, like, she did a heck of a job, especially in AAU settings, when they were younger. We were on road trips. They had to ride back hearing it. She would like, hey, well, game's over with now. Let's get home.
Let's turn on the family channel.
Yeah, let's get back to us.
That's huge too, because there's times where he's on me hard through our practice or a game. We come home, I'm still feeling like, don't talk to me. You was just yelling at me 2 hours. You was just yelling at me. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. So just having her is kind of helpful. Just we're home. It's home environment. Let it go.
And with all that being said, like, even though we kind of went back and forth sometimes, like with both parents, like just kind of like, because we didn't understand,
right?
Like, but like now it's just like we blessed. Like, it's a blessing. Like, everything that happened past, everything, it's a blessing, and we highly blessed. Like, from God.
Man, you see, y'all. That's what y'all did. That's what he just said, how he said it, and it wasn't prompted. That's what's in him. That's what's in him, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. What is it like for you two? Because when you were at Lawrence Central, you were a freshman, you were a junior, correct? So y'all got a chance to play. Y'all got a chance to play with each other for 1 year?
2 years.
2 years?
So he played with me.
Because you played as a freshman, yeah, that's right.
He played with me growing up at AAU.
So what's it like playing on the same team with your brother, Dre?
It can be hard at times, but I think it's, like you said, we blessed.
What when you say hard, in what way?
I feel like I'm his biggest critic. I said, there's some things, it may not be that big, but it's big to me.
All right.
Just little things as far as competing. Like, we all compete, but it's harder when it's my little brother. Nah, you could have got that ball. Nah, you could have got that ball. Just so I say, that was the hardest thing. I don't know about him, but I know for me that was the hardest thing.
With me, it was fun. Like, especially like freshman, sophomore year, I'm just hooping. Like, I ain't really.
You had really no pressure.
Right. So and then so I'm just hooping, but it was hard sometimes. Like why you getting on me, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then sometimes where if he didn't make a point, like, Dre, what you just got on me for? So we.
You just told me, and what did you do?
Yeah. So but we hold each other like accountable. But at the same time, it's like, I remember my freshman year, I was playing up at Noblesville. I had got beat one time, and he came all the way from the other side of the court and blocked the other dude's shot. And so that's just like the type of competitiveness that we play with, and then it's like having each other back. So at the end of the day, like, it's easy to play for each other. We just had those moments, but it's easy to play for each other.
I'll tell you what,
there was a couple times.
Yeah, I love those moments because when they play together, it's amazing to watch. Sometimes when I'm coaching, I get caught in watching the game because I'm like,
I was going to ask you,
stunned by what just happened. So there was, like she stated, there was a few times, like even in the Pike game, anything happens, no, that's my little brother. You
ain't finna be him.
He would leave his man and go over there. He block his shot or take the ball or do something, and then they rally, behind each other. So it's fun to watch them. When they get it going, it's just a great thing to watch.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, just feeding off each other's energy.
Yeah.
Like, it might be games where I'm down or whatever the case might be, and he's going. Like, just naturally, I'm feeling the energy off him. It's like, all right, let's hoop, or vice versa. So just feed, like I said, man, it's a fun experience.
Man, it's something that not many people get a chance to do in a lifetime. To play with, I mean, you think of having a mom that coached and played, having a dad coached and played, playing with your brother, both of you guys. It's not a lot of people that can say that. And play at the same high school. Now, gonna play at the same college. Mom and dad don't have to split it. Like, okay, well, me and this side of the family, we headed there, and it just seems like it all works out, and that's got to be special.
It's a blessing. That's what it is.
Now I want to ask, who is the most competitive?
It's all at the end.
I think it's me.
All at the end.
That's me.
So you say
everybody
it's
gonna say it's they self.
I'm not. I mean, I'm competitive, but she is over the top. And then Dre is too. I think he get a lot of that from her, but she's super competitive. I'll give you a great example.
Well, we don't need
Loving
examples.
no. Let the examples roll.
Loving basketball. Now she thinks she gonna beat me in a one-on-one game in the rain at my mom's house. She's on there. She's trying. I'm blocking the shot. She's on there crying.
You did not.
She don't want to leave. It's raining outside. My mom said, "Come on in. It's time to eat." She like, "No, I'm finna score." You know, we got to go in the house. So
I
she
know
didn't
her
wanna
to be
stop.
very competitive.
I was like, man, this is great. Go ahead and score the bucket.
You just stand up there. Now let's go eat. I love it. I remember, so my daughter Kendra, played basketball. She went to Langston University. But when she was in high school, she came up to Indiana visit. And this was just, you talk about coaches, and I'm not a basketball coach, but she comes up, we were all at LC, the boys, Lundy, you, myself, my daughter, a couple other people. And so you worked her out, and then at the end, we ended up playing a game of horse. Remember that?
Yeah.
And of course, I got knocked out very early. But my daughter would talk about the experience of how cool it was. Like, man, they are tight. I love their family. And as it relates to basketball and the competitiveness, it's like, that is really, really cool. So it just runs really, really deep. And in that same weekend, you know, you were working out, you were having a practice. So I take my daughter Kendra over to the other side, and I say, I'll play you like a big. You know, she's a pretty big girl, and I was physical with her, and she got really, really upset. And that's the first and really the only time that I've ever done a sport with her in that capacity. And she started to cry. She's probably gonna get mad if she see this, because I said spilling all the beans. But she started to cry, and I remember Lundy coming over, and all the things that I was telling her, and she's like, "You guarding me? You pushing on me like I'm a man? Like, I'm not a man." I say, "Well, if you can handle me, when you playing against your peers and females, it's gonna be gravy. You gotta have that mindset." And you came over and you started talking to her, and I said, "You can have her." I backed up, and she totally responded to you. And she still today talks about those moments. And that was before she went to college. So your impact runs deep and runs wide. So let's just say Mom is the most competitive. Okay, Mom and Dre are in competition for the most competitive. You kind of like, yeah, we let them have that. Yeah, exactly.
We ain't gonna argue about it, man.
We ain't gonna argue about it. Okay, as far as, and I started to look up all the stats, but it's so many different rivals, 24/7. It's so many, and not everybody had the same thing. Who's the best shooter?
from mid-range, 3-point line.
Mid-range game. Who's the best shooter
In the family or between the two of them?
in the family?
It's one out of them.
It's probably gonna be Lundy.
I say
Okay,
mid-range.
so
I give her 3.
Lundy 2,
No.
Dre 1.
I think she the best shooter.
Best
She
shooter.
best shooter for sure.
Oh no.
Well, who's my competition?
Who's the best shooter?
I'm the best shooter when I get
No,
going.
calm down. I'm doing too much.
Yeah.
I mean, just take it.
Mid-range, I would
So,
say
but it
Lundy.
seems like all of y'all say the mom's got it.
Mid-range, she's a good shooter. She's
Okay,
a great-
got it, yeah.
she's a great
3-point
shooter.
shooter. Who's the best? Who's the
It would
best
be
shooter?
me.
I say mom still.
Thank you.
You got a good shot, though.
mid-range.
I'm going to say the games that we played, I think
If he
made
got it
the
going,
furthest
yeah.
on the
If he
three.
got it going.
That's some best mid-range.
Nah, we playing open run.
So you saying
Overall,
open run?
He come down. Hey, screen. He come
If
pull
it-
up right. Yeah, pull up.
And
It's
he
wet,
set it
though.
up like he finna pass it to me. That's the crazy thing.
But
I'm
you
down
don't
the
think
court.
about passing.
I'm like,
Control this screen is popping me, hit you.
Yeah, and then he be like,
You be on the way to set the screen. Just sucking all the way
yeah.
Your screen is.
So all the
Put it up.
defense is trying to set up for the screen and stuff.
Get everybody attention.
I'm just a decoy. Yeah.
The whole
Got it.
defense think that should happen.
Who got the best handles? Okay.
Yeah, I'll say safe.
So.
Sure.
Okay. Who's the best defender?
What?
Ooh.
You gonna say him?
Yeah.
Oh, he tripping.
Dad?
I don't know. I think I
handles.
am.
I think he's.
Oh! Wait.
actually,
I thought he was gonna drop a boat in a
Time
bucket
out.
for.
Yeah.
We're
wait,
putting
wait.
ourselves in the
Oh,
bid.
okay.
I forgot about
I
that. I
think
might
okay.
be lockdown
All right.
defender.
I guard the best defender
Listen.
every time we step.
Best defender. He guards the best defender.
I got the best
He
offense.
said it right. He said it right. He said it
Right, I
right.
did say that the wrong.
Dino,
way.
we have an acronym
I
for
did
that.
say that the wrong. way. We do got an acronym.
He said what he meant.
I
though.
got the
He
best
said
player
what
on
he
the court
meant.
every time. we
So
step.
you say you guard the best player on the court?
Every time. we
Listen,
step.
that's
They
what,
both
that's
do.
What, listen,
they
that's
both
what
do.
I'm
They
gonna
both.
put-
They're both pretty good.
My freshman year, I did it.
So let's say, first game. Who's your first game against the Seton Hall?
I don't think the schedule's
No, the schedule's not out yet. Okay, let's just make an imaginary team. Let's say Kentucky. Let's just say you play Kentucky. First game. Who's the best player on one of the hot shooters on Kentucky?
Ty, Keon. Shit, Keon was, man.
Yeah,
So
Keon's
many
gone.
transfers.
Okay. Who do you think right now? Who's going to the coach and saying, "I want to guard the best offensive player"?
Me, for sure. We're gonna be battling for it the whole week of practice.
I like it. Man, hey. And what people don't know is y'all ended up in the basketball game. When y'all were young, I got a chance to coach y'all in football. And man, I was sad that that Dre said they ain't playing football no more. I was like, for real, I was sad because, I mean, how y'all play basketball is kind of like how y'all play football. He is more of a processor and very methodical and goes through his
Progressions.
and he's just boom, two totally different styles of game. But they're extremely productive and a lot of fun to watch. So when you said Hollywood, they done. I was like, man, I say, how tall are you? 6'8". 6'6". I told you the other day on Saturday. I say 6'8", 6'6", boy, they be in the NFL draft. But great choices.